Welcome back to my channel here at TradeSG. My name is Sammy. Today we're going to take a look at ASTS, NVTS, PLTR, last but not least, Mobix. If you like this sort of content, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and join the Discord. So let's take a look at ASTS first. Guys, the macroeconomics is not giving us the trend that we want. Obviously, we want up. But as you can notice here that we're seeing candles making new lower highs and new lower lows. But one thing I do want to note is that, again, we're seeing multiple touches at the 236 Fibonacci micro level from these lows to these highs. So we do have a bunch of harmonic structures here, but it doesn't want to break down the 236. Guys, if we break down the 236, this is technically very, very bad. Why do I say that? Well, let's go turn on our EMAs, our noise, in 1 second. All right. We don't have any volume. Again, any volume. If you look left, no volume at these highs right now, okay? If we break the 236, folks, we're coming back down to touch that 100 SMA. But this 236 is technically sort of like a, it's sort of a suspense battle between the bulls and the bears, because otherwise, we don't want to fight this. We don't want to fight this coming down. We want to stay up, okay? Let's continue to respect the 236. 100 SMA is next. If we break the 236, there is no volume shelf here. That's your next key support. And then last but not least, you're coming down. You break the 100, you're going to come hit that 382. Okay, so the macroeconomics are not technically in our favor. We had Apple, Nvidia, Google and Nvidia coming down Friday. So this was obviously following the trend. But this chart is very bullish. Don't get me twisted, but we are below the 100. We are below the 50, the 20, the 5 and 10, 20 and 50 EMAs and the 50, 20 SMAs, folks. That was a tongue twister right there. So we are below these key lines here, and I really want to start seeing the 5 EMAs start acting as support, not resistance, okay? Not resistance. We noticed that this 50 EMA was acting as support. But guys, this 5 EMA is deadly. Look at that resistance. This very bearish engulfing candle. We need to start acting as support. Moving on to NVTS. Now another one. We're breaking below the 0.5. We did break below the 0.5. And one thing I do want to note is that this RSI is screaming reversal. Now, is it going to happen today, tomorrow, next week? Maybe. But I will say this, when I see wedges like this, potential respects, we have both multiple touches of the trend line up and down. We're going to see, at least what I see here is that there is a potential reversal on this chart. Why do I say that? Well, we have a spinning top on the impulse, right? We have respected trend line here on the RSI, respected this top line, bottom, up, down, and then touched it again, and hopefully that reversal. Another thing I love seeing here is that the MACD, look at the MACD, guys. The strength of this trend is weakening, or I should say the strength of the sell-off is weakening. This histogram bars is telling you something. These histogram bars is exactly what I said. Are people buying or selling? This is basically saying that the selling pressure previous days before was high. But notice how it's getting weaker. I mean, we had a couple 4 days here, and then look, weaker. It's getting lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. It's going to take time, folks, but I do like where the MACD and that signal line is curling up. Looks like it wants to coil. So as long as we start seeing histogram bars respect this trend line, that's a good sign for a massive reversal, okay? This one is This one is all about patience, okay? All about being patient, but I do like the RSI wedge. I like the MACD histogram bars showing weakening. I do like the spinning top at the impulse. This means that buyers stepped in. That wick is telling you a story. We don't ignore stories in my Discord, in my chart. In my channel. So pay attention to this. So far so good. I do want to start seeing a little bit support from the EMAs. Let's see if we have them going. Okay, good. We have the 5 EMA now touched that one candle. We got a reaction out of it. It was acting as resistance. You guys know how I love my 5 EMA. 5 EMA is your best friend to start seeing a potential reversal. We need to start seeing this 5 EMA acting as support, not resistance. Again, every time we touch these candles with the 5 EMA, what do you see? Resistance. The market's watching that 5 EMA. This is a great indicator. And if I were to turn on my Heikin Ashi, again, one of the key signs of a reversal is seeing a spinning top on the Heikin Ashi. Notice how these bars are continuous. They look like three dark crows continuation, or 3-line strike bearish. continuation. But this candle right here, that's a spinning top. There was no spinning top in these prior 5-4 candles. You can argue this one here, but this one's significant because it touched the 100 SMA. We got the nice wick bounce. Hopefully we continue and get it going to the upside. PLTR, guys, you know, I'm gonna say this vocally and out there. I really like the CEO of Carp. I don't know exactly who he was prior before I saw this YouTube video, but he went on Mitt's YouTube video Thursday or Friday, and he went on another podcast. This guy is straight brutal. And one thing I will say, man, I wish I got into PLTR because just having him as a CEO, he sounds like a lot of fun. He's a cool guy. So in terms of who he is as a person, great. In terms of the company, I have no idea what they still do. Really don't care. We trade the charts. Again, let's get straight to the TA. So here we have a rectangle bottom. When we had initial high, we had a ripper, and now we're consolidating. This is called a rectangle. We fell off, and then now we're consolidating. PLTR is very much bullish. It's really not breaking any trend. It's still on the upside. We have the RSI respecting a little bit of a trend line here. You can argue that. You know, as long as we don't break below that, we're fine. Let me put it up right here. Okay, and again, my MACD is a great storyteller. It's literally giving you the hint, like, hey, the buying is slowing down. The selling is slowing down. We have the MACD. It looks like, again, it wants to coil. Okay, it wants to coil. The signal line also looks like it wants to roll right up. Okay, so your MACD is your best friend, and I do like, in terms of structure, what's happening here. Okay, now one thing I do want to know is that this ADX is still high. It's still high. Now, in order for me to be comfortable for a nice move up, I would prefer to see this ADX come down and then act as like a whiplash. But right now we're not seeing that, and because this is such an erratic stock, or I should say a very momentous stock to the upside, you know, sometimes TA really doesn't matter, because when everybody just wants to buy, it's just going to go to the moon, right? And Palantir is the leading charge of that movement, all right? When you have massive runs to the upside, pretty much CA, it can only work for so long, and everything, you just follow the trend, right? You just follow the trend, which is up only, okay? So this chart is still up only. Respect this chart. Well, you know, arguably, when you see MACD crosses here, look on the 3-day on the MACD, you're supposed to have a sell-off, a swing. No, we were above the center line, folks. We've been above the center line for months and months and months. So I won't be surprised if we start coiling up again above, below the center line. This is below the center. This is above the center line. I always get that confused. So yeah, below the center line, this is very bullish at the end of the day. Still in a rectangle bottom, consolidating nicely. What's to argue here? It's respecting that 236, 152.79, roughly. Let me see here. Multiple candles on that 236 here. So this is still very, very bullish. Macroeconomics will tend to play a role here. And there is some community out there that are trying to short the shit out of Palantir. I wouldn't stress it. This company's still good in my eyes. So last but not least, Mobix. Okay, guys, this is a patient game, okay? Patient game. Mobix is a military / infrastructure company, technology play, and right now it is above, well, not above, it likes to touch that 236 and reject thus far, but that's a good sign, because price is indicating that it wants to break out. It wants to break out above the 236. When you have multiple touches of these candles touching that 236, it's literally saying, hey guys, get me out of here in this zone and bring me to the new guys. Bring me to the new city, which is above the 236, okay? I told you guys, breaking above the 236 and closing candles above the 236, we have an 80% chance of getting to the 382.180, $1.83 Fibonacci, okay? 382 Fibonacci at 183, okay? Very important. These wicks are telling you something. It's not the end of the world. These are patient plays. Patient plays. Notice what the EMAs is telling you. We have the 200 as support. We have the 10 EMA as support on the daily. I don't like how we're below the 5 EMA. We don't want to see, we don't want to start seeing that as acting as resistance. This is literally the point of contention. This is literally the pivotal point for this ticker. Otherwise, we do have support levels here where we have the EMAs literally right under. We have the SMA, the 20 SMA, we have the 50 EMA and SMA. This is technically not a bad sign, as we can define a support area. One thing I do want to know, and if I remember correctly, who was it that brought it to my attention? I think it was on the 1 hour. 1 hour. Oh yeah, we had I believe a Discord member. Yeah, he said a head and shoulders on the 1 hour, which was interesting, right? So this was interesting. I kind of like seeing patterns in this sense, but he spotted a head and shoulders, but on the 1 hour, we're gonna take that as, you know, it's a weak head and shoulders. I would consider it. If I saw head and shoulders on the daily, that'd be a little bit more concerning, right? A little bit more concerning, but no head and shoulders on the daily nor the 3-day. So we're just have to be patient with Mobix, okay? It's a growth story. If it comes down here on this trend line, if it starts crashing down, look guys, look, just notice the trend line, okay? This is a trend line. This is a trend line, okay? If it comes back down, I suspect this trend line is another bounce, keep bouncing, then, you know, hopefully we get a bounce and then break out of this apex and above the 236. You're not going to get rich quick tomorrow off of these tickers. This is still a risky play. It's only $1, folks. Mobix is $1. It's $1 stock. What do you think? We're going to shoot up to 20? Sure, if we have the apes coming in, you know, Reddit community coming in and shooting this ticker up. But right now, it's a patient play, okay? Maybe we did find the golden egg. It just needs to start hatching. It will hatch one day. But the chart tells you otherwise, that it's very, very bullish. And I do have this macro trend line here. Again, price, respected, touched it, and came back down. When we break above that trend line, which is around roughly 130, 125, depending on the candle structure, guys, this thing is going to the moon. We have to be above the 236 and break that trend line. Guys, look what the trend is literally on a macro level. What do you see going on moving forward? It's up, right? Lower highs, lower lows. I mean, excuse me, higher lows, higher highs. Okay, higher lows, higher highs. You cannot argue with the current trend. Okay, what does that look like? It looks like a channel to the upside. If it was a channel to the downside, well, then you have something to worry about, right? That's a down. This is an up. Down, up. Let me make it a little bit more clear for you. Down, up. Okay, so just be patient. It's just a patient game. And again, if it comes down, we got a trend line, and hopefully we see the bounce. That's all, folks. That's all I really have to say for today. Thank you so much for watching. Like the Discord, excuse me, like my channel, like the YouTube, like the video. Join the Discord, folks. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and I love doing this every single day, and I love giving you guys the best of the best. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.